Daytona USA. Great Dreamcast game. Came out in, I believe, 2001, which was pretty late in the Dreamcast's time. It was about done for. This is a good racing game. It's a copy of the arcade game, made by Sega, obviously, since it's on the Dreamcast. And it's actually a remake. It's not the first version. There was another version on the Sega Saturn, and I'm going to show you some gameplay of that when we get into the video. Alright, so let's get into some gameplay. Daytona USA. Considered one of the classic arcade racing games. I think it's a really good game. I enjoy it. Although I'm not the best at it, it's still pretty fun. And it even has net battle, which is quite nice. So you can battle people over the internet. Although I'm not quite sure if it still works. I have yet to check that out. It has all your general options and whatnot. It also has some of the tracks that from the arcade. And a bunch of cars from the arcade as well.
Hornet! Grasshopper!
This is one of those games that would be really good with a steering wheel, arcade steering wheel, and foot pedals and whatnot. Because it looks a lot like the arcade.
3-7 Speedway. Dinosaur.
See, there's a bunch of these from the arcade. It says Arcade Advanced, Arcade Experts.
Desert City.
And there's one from the Circuit Edition, which was from the Saturn one I showed, Saturn game I showed you a couple minutes ago. And there's also a couple new ones that you don't get in any other game but this. Now, before I show you more gameplay from this game, I'm going to compare it to the 32-bit Sega Saturn version. And here it is.
2, 1, and they're underway.
It's going to be the same track I'm going to do in less than a minute. I'm not going to do a complete race, I believe. So this is what the Sega Saturn version looks like, and it came out a couple of years before. I want to say 97 or something. There's Sonic on the rock, the giant cliff thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Now here's the Dreamcast version. I'd say that's a little more epic. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Yeah, that's a lot more like the arcade version. This also sounds a lot more like the arcade version.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now as you can see, the graphics are a lot better. The sound quality is better. I don't know, I'd say the music is slightly better. And the nice thing is the control stick is analog. Much better than the Saturn version. The Saturn version, even the analog controller doesn't make it analog. It's not compatible that way. The game also handles better than the Saturn version. Although I still say that the arcade version is the best. And that's the general rule when you make an arcade game on a home console. Which is what Sega did a lot of the time. Which is what they're doing here.
You place fourth.
G-A-M-E-O-V-E-R.
I always found that funny. But yeah, this has a good selection of cars, automatic, manual transmission. The cars have different stats, you can do whatever you want. Drive whatever kind of car suits you. I like the fast ones that accelerate quickly and get up to a high top speed, but they don't have much handling. Now, I may not be the best at this game, but that's because this is not one of the first racing games I played. I don't remember what racing game I played first. But I always love a good racing game, and this is a good one. It just has some minor problems. But that's because they copied it pretty much from the arcade, and the arcade had the same problems. Which makes it more like the arcade, which is a good thing. A very good thing. One thing I really never liked about arcade racing games is the checkpoint system. Whenever I put some money into an arcade machine, I never seem to be able to get to the checkpoint on time until I put a couple dollars in and figured out the game for the most part. It always annoyed me that I could never make it.
Checkpoint! Your time's extended.
Although it is kind of fun to race against the clock at the same time.
Stay loop with the turn.
Oh yes, the crashing. Oh, that's always fun. That's a lot like the arcade as well. The Sega Saturn has the same style crash.
This is the final lap.
Although it doesn't look as good, because the graphics aren't as good. But I'm not going to complain about the graphics necessarily as much as the way they show it in the Saturn version isn't as good as they show it in the Dreamcast version.
Time's extended.
I'd also have to say that overall the music is better. Gameplay is better. Just everything generally about this game, the Dreamcast version, is better than the Saturn version.
Checkpoint. Your time's extended.
Sega's always been good at making good arcade games. This is one of the great ones. So if you see this lying around, I suggest you check it out. You might enjoy it. I sure did. Alright, well, I'm going to give this game a rating. It gets 4 out of 5 stars for epic awesomeness. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching.
10.